morning. I promised you Aubrey. And we're just figuring the timing out here. This is my new friend, Aubrey.
Hi.
And Aubrey is the front desk person here at Beautiful Lakeside Fitness. And I walked in on my hoop journey and I said, I don't know if anybody would be interested in this, but I teach hula fit. I got talking to Aubrey and I immediately sensed there was some journey there. And after our conversation, I was leaving my name and number hoping somebody would call me about hooping, and I was convinced I needed to come back and talk to Aubrey more. And so here we are today. Aubrey, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Aubrey just got back from vacation. She's ready to go, right?
Yes.
No.
So I have a really nice tan line going on.
I can't even see it. Oh, I do see it. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, you can see it on the screen.
Yeah,
better.
good for you. You got some vacation and
Yes,
relax time in. And she did that after doing a muscle, what do they call that contest?
Bodybuilding
Okay,
competition.
I was saying muscle fitness,
Yeah.
but bodybuilding competition, and she
Yes.
did that in Indianapolis, was it?
It was in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Fort Wayne. Okay, it was in
Yes.
Fort Wayne.
This is
It's even
smaller.
closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she did that in Fort Wayne the second weekend of July. Am I getting that right?
Yes.
Oh,
July
I got
8th.
some part of that right.
Yes.
Yay. But I want to backtrack and talk about how she got to this, because you look at this beautiful girl right here, and she is just, full of life, ready to go. But Aubrey had a journey, and that's what I want to talk about today. And it was about her body, about food, and I want to talk to you about those pieces because coming up soon, Aubrey's actually doing her own seminar. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what prompted you? And then I'm going to show this picture because I think it really tells the story more than you do. But what prompted you to decide you were going to do a bodybuilding event?
I think the biggest thing that prompted me on pursuing bodybuilding was I started off, it was very much geared toward my outer appearance and what my goal body would look like. Everybody goes online and starts picking apart all these other women's pictures and kind of morphing them together to create the ideal body, at least women my age do. And so that was kind of my beauty standard at that point. But then as I kind of started diving into working towards that goal, it became a lot more about my mental toughness and my inner strength rather than what I was appearing to look like on the outside.
Ah, very interesting.
Yes.
Because we are a society that's very driven by looks and appearance.
Yes.
And yet, often there's a story going on too, especially when you're overweight and there's a health issues that
Definitely.
eventually may catch up with you.
Definitely.
And so, was there anything that sort of kick-started that? I mean, did you look in the mirror one day and say, I'm going to do this? I mean, what was the kickstart for that?
Honestly, I can't think of a defining moment when it just all clicked. I just want to be vulnerable and tell you that I failed my entire way here.
Okay.
I yo-yo dieted. I'd start, I'd stop, I'd fall off the wagon,
Sure.
I'd get back on, I'd fall off the wagon, I'd get back on, and it was just all about pushing through those failures to get to this point. I mean,
Okay.
no journey is going to be perfect.
Right.
So it was just starting and stopping, and then eventually it became a habit and a lifestyle
Sure.
where I didn't
Sure.
fail as often. Or
Okay.
I didn't view those kind of setbacks as failures anymore.
Ah, hurdles, not
Yes,
failures.
yes.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting. So, let me show you the picture because it's just, this is her little flyer for, she's doing a weightlifting and nutrition seminar. And I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to bring it nice and close. This is Aubrey. I'll cover my face, and put your face up there. But this is
this
Aubrey.
way.
Yeah, there we go. This is Aubrey, and this is a transformation that she made. And how long, Aubrey, was that transformation? From the
I would
point you
say-
really decided you were doing this.
I would say it took me about a year, maybe a year and a half, a little less than that.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Really impressive. So about a year and a half. And then if you're in the area, she is doing a weightlifting and nutrition seminar in Syracuse, Indiana. And I'm going to have this up and posted before then and make sure the link is in your hands. I'm just saying that now, so now I'm committed to making that happen. On August 19th, and what are the times for it?
10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Here at Lakeside Fitness?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to take that down now. That picture, I was like, can I see a picture? Can I see a picture? And that is just awesome. And so we'll kind of backtrack a little bit too, but let's talk about the seminar for just a minute.
Okay.
You're really excited about it.
Yes.
And tell me what what's prompting you to do this. And I noticed you put weightlifting first and nutrition seminar second.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a little talk about nutrition in just a second. But tell me what it is you're working towards when you're putting that weightlifting piece out there. What do you want for people?
Well, my focus is to empower primarily women to feel comfortable enough to walk into a gym, into the free weight area, and feel like they know what they're doing and that they're not being judged, that they have proper form, and they are confident to kind of take ownership of their own workouts, put together their own plans, and execute those plans in the gym without feeling insecure.
Wow, I love that. So those are all of that's really powerful. Mm-hmm. So did you have some of those things going on when you first came into the gym?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes.
So tell me about that. Day one in the gym. What was
Yes.
that like for you?
Day one in the gym, well, number one, Syracuse, Indiana is a very small town.
Yes, it
and
is.
so the biggest hurdle that I had to face mentally was the fear of facing people that I went to high school with and having them see me at my heaviest of 235 pounds. And then struggled day in and day out, wheezing on the treadmill, struggling to get up off machines and things like that.
Wow.
And kind of watching me struggle through until I finally made it my own.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That what did it feel like? This is a beautiful, beautiful gym. I mean, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
What did it feel like that day?
I hated the gym.
Oh no! And this is what you're doing now?
Yes,
Okay, she
yeah.
hated the gym, and this is what she's doing now.
Yes.
Love it. So you hated it, and do you remember when it clicked and suddenly you were like, "Yeah, I own the gym. It's my place."
Yes. I just remember walking in and saying hi to every single person in the gym instead of ducking down. And that was when I realized, okay, either my confidence is improving, I'm taking ownership, and this is my gym, this is where I go now. And people are you become a community. And I've learned now that when I see someone coming in and they're seeing me look at them, I know that they're probably thinking that I'm judging them, but really I'm like excited for them. And a lot of times I'm waiting for the opportunity to tell them, hey, I'm really noticing that you're making a lot of progress. I'm really noticing that you're being consistent. And it's the awkward stare down moment until I catch their eye.
Yeah, so, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it's interesting you say it's a community because I feel the same way about my hooping.
Right.
Because I went to a local restaurant the other day and somebody walked in. I'm like, it's one of my hoopers. And I got to say hello and talk to her. And I thought, if I was just here a little bit longer, I'd, have that community. But I'll be back next summer.
Yes.
So we'll see you again. So that's awesome. And I love what you're doing because empowering people who don't have maybe the confidence yet to walk in. Maybe somebody's going to see this, and maybe your flyer. I'm pointing to the flyer.
Yeah.
Or maybe even this, because you never know where social media takes things. Somebody might see this and like, I'm in that area. I can go to that. So when you put something out there and you ask people to share, you hope that it goes to a place they need to go. Now, when Aubrey and I were talking, and she's like, give me this. Come on. Yeah, okay. So she's like, awesome. So we're sitting there talking, and I'm thinking, all right, surely she has had a nutritional journey. And then she put nutrition seminars. So we're going to talk about food. But it's not quite the journey I anticipated her saying. Because realistic, do you remember me asking that question?
Yes, I do.
Aubrey's answer, I said, well, did you change your food or anything? And you know what she said? She said, no, I eat whatever I want. And I'm like, okay, no, you don't look like that and eat whatever you want. So let's kind of talk about what your food was like before. Okay. And I know when you say you eat whatever you want, you actually did modify too. You still have what you want, but there's a modification piece involved.
Definitely.
But I'm like, no, you don't. I mean, because you are what you eat. We all know that. You are what you eat. And if you come in here and pump iron and then go out there and just burn it all out on bad food, you're not really going to be fuel efficient in where you want to be and muscularly build that way. So you have to do certain things to meet that goal. So tell me what your foods were like before at 230 pounds.
Yes. Okay, so one thing about me is, number one, I'm married. Number two, one way that my husband learned to love me was through food.
Ah.
So he would come home and bring me McDonald's. I mean, I'm not pushing it on him because that was what I trained him to bring me home when we're thinking food, right? McDonald's, Burger King.
Yeah.
And then also, I loved Mountain Dew. It was liquid gold to me. And I would probably drink about a gallon of Mountain Dew a day.
Ooh, liquid gold, liquid sugar, liquid calories.
And it was just like...
empty calories.
And I would just sit and sip, you know, because you can mindlessly sip on things when there's a straw. So that's all I would do was drink everything. And also I did not have like a sense of portion control, which is what we'll get into, of when to stop. And I honestly think that my stomach expanded.
Yeah.
Because your stomach will expand to accommodate that food, but also, so I was always hungry, I was never satisfied, and so it was just an endless cycle of craving fast food, craving the sugars, and then kind of succumbing to that and purchasing it.
Yeah, and a good book, if you're interested in that cycle, is called Fat, Sugar, Salts, How the Food Giants Got Us Hooked, and I think it's by, if I'm not mistaken, Michael Moss. And if I'm wrong about that, I'll put it at the end who it is. But that book addresses that whole craving, and that processed food really invites you to eat more.
Yeah, it's addictive.
Yes,
there are addictive properties in processed food.
It is, totally. Now see, we didn't cover that before. So now tell me what changed. When did the Mountain Dew go away?
Yes.
Okay.
I no longer
when did the
Mountain
Mountain Dew go away, and then when did you begin kind of that food modification? And you said that you ate. It's about portion control too. And when did that portion control change for you?
Right. So the very first thing that I did to change my diet was just start by counting calories. And so when I had to look at counting calories and how many calories were in one can of Mountain Dew, I was willing to sacrifice that Mountain Dew for more food, ultimately. So by logging and keeping myself accountable to what I was putting in my mouth, I ultimately was able to kind of have a check and balance system of what I was willing to sacrifice my calories on and what I wasn't. And that's how the Mountain Dew got kicked.
Okay, and so do you work with a certain set of calories every day? Or were you working with a certain set then?
Yes, right now I do a little bit more of a complicated system called Counting My Macros, which breaks down your calories into the 3 macronutrients of proteins, fats, and carbs. And I have specific numerical goals for each of those that I try and hit a day. So instead of just filling my calories with anything I want, I know that I need more protein, or I need more carbs, or I need more fats.
Okay, all right. And I, on the other hand, am more oriented towards, I'm just shooting for 9 cups of colorful vegetables and fruits, and I eat proteins, and I'm looking for making sure I have the right fats. And I do no counting whatsoever, but no, that's not true. I just eat lots and lots and lots of vegetables, and so that's where I go. So finding what works for you is generally, when we look at nutrition and fitness and bodybuilding, and I love weights too, so really for me, I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. I wonder if I could do that as a 54-year-old. You can. She says I can. Maybe by next year I'll join you in Fort Wayne.
It'll
you
be
never know.
Hula Hoop bodybuilding fitness.
There you go. All right. So it's about finding what works for you. And as an older person with osteoporosis, one of the things I'm working towards is then doing some weightlifting, making sure that I'm doing TRX or something that is weight bearing, because that's good for me. So hula hooping, I love it, but it's not all I do. So just saying. You mentioned something, and I think that's really kind of key, whether you're counting macros, counting calories. Looking at, now we find that what we try to avoid, then we don't have to acknowledge. So whether it's looking at what you're eating, or if you're spending $5 on a coffee every day, how much does that really add up to if you start adding those? And by the way, looking at some of those, there's a lot of calories too. And empty calories and sugars and fake sugars. None of those are good for you. Just saying, can't help it.
Moderation. You don't have to cut it out, but it shouldn't happen every day.
Moderation is something she lives by.
Yes.
I know this from our conversations. But also looking at what you're eating, and really, when you're looking at processed foods, and I'm kind of like a crazy person about this. I'm like, look at the label, look at the label, look at the label. And my daughter will be like, oh, I just know I'm not going to be able to have it because I'm going to look at the label. I can't read the names, and then it doesn't get in the cart.
Right.
Because my thing is, if you don't know what it says, then you don't know what it is, so why are you eating it?
Right.
So we don't want to put that on our plate. So that's really big. No matter what your plan of attack is, I think when you're looking at foods, you're looking at fitness, you're working to change a lifestyle, you really have to acknowledge what you're eating and what you're feeding self.
Definitely.
And self is really important. And self really deserves more than fast food. It deserves good food. And even though it's expensive sometimes to find those organics and things, moderation is a really good guideline. And the other thing is that the long-term cost on your body. I mean, this person, should she have chosen to continue, this person, the expense on her body and the toll it would take becomes so many things. You're looking at diabetes, you're looking at other things, you're looking at knee issues because you're carrying around all that extra weight. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Kudos to you. So you did your first contest.
Yes.
And I asked you how that went. And so I asked her if she would show a picture, pull that picture up.
Let's see if I
She's
can
going to
get it.
pull that picture up for you to see what she looked like the day of her contest.
Oop.
Oh, we got a little glare there. That's okay.
There we go.
You got it, girlfriend.
There
Look
we
at
go.
that.
A lot tanner, obviously.
Yeah, because we discussed the whole fake tan thing. I'm going to ask you to send that to me, too.
Okay.
And so there's certain things when you're doing a bodybuilding contest, you have to, well, eating the week, 2 weeks before, I asked her how she was eating, and I was like, oh. She said, all I'm eating is...
Fish and, well, I almost said fish and tilapia. Those are the same things. Fish and asparagus.
Yeah, she was eating a lot of that, and she said, well, what did you say? I'm just kind of hungry all the time.
Yeah, I was never satisfied. So my portions were so small. I was eating 6 times a day. I wasn't hungry all the time. It was just like nothing was satisfying me. I never felt full. I always felt empty. And it was just, it was
But
hard.
you had this goal.
Yes.
It was hard.
Yes.
Something that's worth it is not always easy.
True.
It's hard.
Very true.
And wow, you really just pulled it off.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Now they have different age brackets. So you walk into this totally intimidating,
Yes.
huge place. And how did you feel when you walked in?
Honestly, when I walked in, I immediately knew that I wasn't gonna place, just by
I'm
based
sorry.
on all the
Yeah, I'm so
the
sorry.
very women who have been doing it for years, and it's actually not by age; it's by height.
Oh.
So I was up against multiple different age groups at that time.
They don't
so,
do age groups? I'd feel so much better if they did age groups.
No. Well, they do have. Yes, you would have your own age group.
Okay. She looked at my gray hair and said I'd have my own age group. Okay. So go ahead. That's
Yes.
funny. Go ahead.
So when I walked in, I was, number one, I was nervous, but I kept trying to tell myself, like, you're not nervous, you're just excited. That's all it is. But eventually, like, when we got there, everything flew by so fast that when I walked on stage, I didn't even have time to sit and think, I am in front of a whole bunch of people right now in my bathing suit. So it was just quick, to the point, and it was really fast. It kind of almost felt like I was preparing for my wedding day because I spent all this preparation, all this time, and then it was just like done with the
over
snap of
in a
finger.
flash.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So in the end, you ended up placing where?
I don't even remember. I haven't even checked the placing. 'Cause I didn't. Because, I mean, they have their top 5,
Sure.
but I think there were 13 or 14 girls in my class. And when you're not the top 5, you know you didn't place
Right.
accordingly. So
Okay.
I didn't care at that point.
Tell
It
me
was more,
that, because
Yes.
that's the one thing I was like, you were like, I didn't place, but I didn't care.
yes.
Because you
Because
totally.
this is so much more than a trophy in my
Yeah.
eyes. I mean, I won my health, I won my confidence, I won my energy, I won so many other things in this process that it's priceless, ultimately.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, can I hug you?
Yes.
Because, see, that's what it's all about. I mean, you win your health. You know, you win. That's a lot. That's a whole lot, because without your health, you know, it's challenging. Life is challenging.
Yes.
So,
and that's the thing, though, is like, I'll just talk
Go
about
ahead.
this for a moment. Is that
go ahead.
When I was this person, I didn't realize how miserable I was.
Oh.
You know, when I looked in the mirror, I didn't see that girl. But this girl did hinder me. I mean, there were things I was unwilling to do. I mean, I was way less adventurous. I wanted to be in the house way more. Water. My husband and I love going to water parks or any type of water activity, and I never did that when I was that heavy. And now my husband will look at me and say, "Who are you? This is not who I married," because my wife would have never done this a year and a half ago. My wife would have never said, "Let's go to a water park," and had more energy than I do, you know. So it's just little moments of that show me how much I won, you know. Little moments of having the energy and just having the capability to live my life in the way that I want to, without having energy or tiredness or just uncomfortable insecurities hold me back.
So living fully.
Yes.
Being able to live fully, and that's really. When I talk to people, stories from the Hoop Circle, my whole goal is to share a story that helps to inspire somebody else somewhere along the way.
Yes.
And you know, I just never know what stories I'm going to run into. So thank you so much for sharing this story today. I'm looking is there anything else I wanted to cover? No. Oh, okay. But though we did have a little conversation about gut health.
Oh.
Before I let that go, and I'm like, ooh, she's giving me something to work with. So tell me, and because it started with this little bottle of kombucha.
Yes.
I love kombucha, and while I'm on the road, I can't brew it, so I buy it. And so, what do you know about gut health? What do you think about regarding that?
Okay, so I'm not going to profess to know a whole lot about it.
That's good. Neither do I.
Okay.
Not enough.
So I just know that a healthy gut means that everything is working properly, which means you're flushing out your toxins. You're staying regular. Regularity is big for me because I struggle with regularity.
Okay,
and
that's
also, when you are releasing toxins and your gut is functioning properly, that means you're flushing out fat way better. So it's super important for just your weight loss in general to have a healthy gut, but also your overall body functions. So you're going to feel cleaner, you're going to feel lighter. It's going to ultimately, your gut health is going to impact how you digest your food, how you feel after you eat your food. Just there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, there is. There really is. But I'm glad to hear you say that, because really, when I first, she said, "Oh, I eat whatever I want." I'm like, no, that's not what I was looking for. And really, there was so much more to the story there. There really was. She was just oversimplifying.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. So I don't know where our journey is going to lead us next year, but I do know I'm going to be right back here in town.
Cross again.
And so we're going to cross paths again. But day after vacation, coming in. I want to thank you for taking time with me today. I can't wait to hear more about your journey and how this goes for you. Hey, if you're in the Syracuse area, check this out. It's Aubrey Eastway. It's August 19th. The time is
10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wow, that sounds like a great deal. And the cost is $25? Oh, come on. That's a great price to come in and feel comfortable in the gym. And you know what? You walk into this gym, you have this girl with you, you're going to feel awesome because she's going to show you around like the coolest place in the area. I could just walk into the TRX room over here, lay down and be like this really happy person because I love it. And I could go back there in the middle of the weights and be really happy too. So I can understand why feeling like this is your place is totally awesome.
Yes, definitely.
So come on in. She'll make it a totally awesome your place for you too.
Yes, definitely.
Hey, have a good day. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
It's me with Aubrey, and guess what? She doesn't know how to hula hoop, so we're going to just do this right now, and she's going to give it a whirl, and then she might be throwing some dumbbells in my arms or something, but here we go. We're at Lakeside Fitness for a little snippet more of Aubrey Eastway, just taking her, she's just stepping out of her comfort range once again, okay? So here we are. All right, Aubrey, so you're going to take that hoop.
Okay.
You're going to pull it into the small of your back, and then you're going to give it a big push right across your belly button. When I say across your belly button, I'm going to push it all the way across, and I'm not gripping the hoop, I'm just pushing it straight across. Oh, I am not in a good spot. You're fine, stay there. I'm gonna move closer. You're just gonna push it all the way across. And then push it in. And then engage. Yeah, that's it. Go ahead and grab it again. You got all the right moves. So you're going to give it a big push. Look at you. What? She knows how to hoop. So we're just going to let Aubrey's going to hoop it out. There you go. Hoop it out. There you go. So here's what we're going to do. We're both just going to hoop here for a minute. You stay right there. I'm going to go
Right
behind
here?
you. Yeah, stay there so you're closer.
Oh,
And then what's going to happen is I'll end up putting some music on
okay.
with
See
it.
if
So
we
go
can do
ahead.
it.
Give it a go. Yeah, check that out. I don't even know if I'm in your background. I can't see. See, at some point I just can't see. But you look at the camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, I'm in the background. Hey, it's me. Sorry, pause. It's me with Aubrey, and guess what? She doesn't know how to hula hoop, so we're gonna just do this right now, and she's gonna give it a whirl, and then she might be throwing some dumbbells in my arms or something, but here we go. We're at Lakeside Fitness for a little snippet more of Aubrey Eastway, just taking her, she's just stepping out of her comfort range once again, okay? So here we are. All right, Aubrey, so you're gonna take that hoop,
Okay.
you're gonna pull it into the small of your back,
Okay.
and then you're gonna give it a big push right across your belly button. And when I say across your belly button, I'm gonna push it all the way across. And I'm not gripping the hoop, I'm just pushing it straight across. Oh, I am not in a good spot. You're fine, stay there. I'm gonna move closer. You're just gonna push it all the way across. And then push it in. And then engage. Yeah, that's it. Go ahead and grab it again. You got all the right moves. So you're gonna give it a big push. Look at you. What? She knows how to hoop. So we're just gonna let Aubrey's gonna hoop it out. There you go. Hoop it out. There you go. So here's what we're gonna do.